definitely live, yeah?
Yep.
I'm just saying, is the link working? Don't ask me, I think it wants it there. $55.65 on it, so it must be. Good evening. Welcome once again. Foots to the myths, boys. We're coming to the tin. Isn't that what they say? So, hope you enjoyed last night. There was a wee technical glitch. We don't exactly know what happened, but our live stream didn't save on Facebook, so I wasn't able to go onto it today and check out all your requests. So do apologise for that there. I definitely did get some more today, and we've got a great lineup for you this evening, so we're just going to get straight into it. The first one we have this evening for you is South Down Defenders, and this is them at their own parade there in 2019. And this one is especially for, let me just get the list of names. It's for Lorraine Boyd-Gordon, who is dedicating it to Dylan and Chloe Gordon, also to Emma Jane Moffat, and also to Jackie as well. So have a good night tonight. Hope you've all got your cup of tea ready and your soft drinks and whatever else you feel like. Here's South Down Defenders. I forgot to unmute. Talking away to you there. Hope you're all sitting comfortably, for we have got an hour and a half here of some of the best bands in the country. I see a few of you asking there, Alan, can you play Brookborough? Denise is asking for a bit of the Regimental. Hi to Colin and to Robert, to Linda and to Janice. Yes, you have made it for the start there. Can you play Pride of Knockmore from Heather? Aaron, a wee bit of Shankill Road Defender. Lee's asking for Ballykey Loyal Sons of Ulster. Kira is saying nothing tonight. Yay! Kira has learnt her counting. Good for you, Kira. Eddie is on. Eddie, China is on, and China, the news I can spread to the country is that China has got his wagon wheels. He is now happy. I was frantically trying to find wagon wheels today so that I could hold one up and slag him, but he's got them, so good for you, China. So you're making tea for us all. Jennifer's on from Craigenea. We have a little piece from Craigenea on this evening as well, Jennifer. Pomeroy 2 Blues, asked Kay. Dusty get the Super MYD on. Eddie, yes, well done to whoever dropped the wagon wheels off for Eddie. So let's carry on with the music. Last Saturday night, which was our first show, I mentioned about Carrickfergus Defenders and the wonderful work that they were doing in their community there, and the food parcels and packages that they were sending out to their local neighbours and so on. And a few of the people said it would be a really good idea if we could get a piece on for them. So this is for Jacqueline, for Phyllis, for Mark, for Joanne, for Janet, and for Caitlin, who all asked for some Carrick Defenders. And this is them at Pride of Green Island back in 2018. I'm watching Roy's face here, and if I see a look of frantic panic, then I will know I have forgotten to unmute, using a slightly different camera this evening, so we're just getting used to this, so bear with us. It's just a little bit of fun more than anything else, because we're all stuck in the house. And I have to say thank you all for the requests that are coming through. They are coming through there thick and fast. We probably won't be able to get all of them covered this evening, because there is I don't even want to guess how many comments there is there already, but there's a lot. And even from the comments just from our first two shows, I have something like 4 shows already just packed solid back to back. We could probably do with doing this all day, never mind just an hour and a half on Friday and Saturday nights. But we have had some fantastic bands in the country and in Scotland over the years, and this is one that from quite a few years back, and everybody still talks about them. They are in many circles considered the mecca of melody, blood and thunder type bands. And this one was asked for William Gibson, who I think was a former member. I also know that Hosey there up in Belfast and Rathcoole, it was a former member. And this is, of course, Sharpshooters. They're playing here at the Battle of the Somme Commemoration Parade, and they're playing towards the second end of this tune. They're starting off with Auld Lang Syne, and then they're moving into one of my favourite pipe marches, Black Bear. And we're back again. Roy's giving me the countdown. I was wafting flies. There was a fly out round me there, and I think he thought I was going to hit him at the far end. Who was it said there? There was somebody up there. And they're on my book for a clash. Wolf Fowler, you're in my book for a clash. Let's chat more tunes. You don't know me at all. I like to talk. But we'll move quickly into the next one to keep Will happy. This is an accordion band from just between Bushmills and Ballycastle. Probably completely new for a lot of you Belfast-based folk and further afield. This one is called Craigenee, and it was requested by Sandra Tannehill and is from the YouTube channel of Rufus Moonbeam. So please do remember to give all our YouTubers out there a good follow and like and subscribe to all their videos. So this is Craigenee Accordion Band. Craig and E there from just outside, between Bushmills and Ballycastle, really. Wearing my Liverpool shirt again tonight for Roy because he's an avid Man United fan. So you know you have to taunt, really, don't you? John Watson on just saying there that they should have been playing tonight in the Spurn, which is where that last video was taken, for McCoskin. And of course today we all should have been in Antrim for the parade in Antrim there. And we're not, but listen, it's not going to damp any of our enthusiasm for whenever all the parades start. I saw Brian Emerson commenting earlier, so this is a little one for you, Brian. This is Ballyray Silver. Now, this is quite obviously a video converted into digital. Everybody remember those days of video and the VHS? If you don't, ask your parents because they'll definitely remember. And this is one called The Villager, so the video must be at least 10 years old, if not more. But we hope you enjoy this one, Brian. Just heard a wee counterpart coming through in that there. I've never heard in the accordion arrangements. Joshua is saying he loves the march. It's a favourite of mine, Joshua. He says it sounds better in the accordion though. Not too sure. You've got that real big thump coming in there on the silver and brass instruments that it's hard to get in the accordion. So tonight is Pride of Knockmore. We've had a lot of requests for Pride of Knockmore because it is there. Now, I've got two pieces of information. In one place, someone's told me it's their 45th anniversary, and somewhere else they've told me it's their 40th anniversary. So my apologies. I'm getting two pieces of information. So it is your anniversary, I'll put it like that. So we wanted to play something for you, and congratulations. Here is to many, many more years. This is Pride of Knockmore at South Belfast Young Conquerors in 2019. that was for Pride of Knockmore, and we hope that you are celebrating your anniversary, even if you're just in the house. So you'll get to celebrate it much better whenever all this is over. So I've seen a few comments on there asking for the regimental, and this is for Denise Gordon, and it's the regimental at the Brian Robinson Parade there last year, and this is them playing When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Cracking march, and well played as always by the regimental. Definitely one of my favourite melody flute bands out there on the road. So we've been all housebound, we're all climbing the walls, we all feel we should have been parading somewhere now, but of course it's a really difficult time at the minute, and it's really, really important for us all to stay home. And my heart absolutely goes out to people who are suffering bereavements at this point in time, where having a funeral, having a service, anything like that there is very difficult. So I'd like to pass on my respects to a good friend of mine, Raymond Christie from Ballymaconley Sons of Conquers, and also to Luke Strawbridge in Ballywullen Flute Band, both of whom have suffered bereavements over the past few days. And it must be extremely difficult. Difficult any time, but even worse now. So we'd like to feature Ballywullen here for Luke, and this is them playing down in Portrush and playing a little selection which I believe includes Killaloe. Hope you all enjoyed Ballywillan down there in Portrush. Wonderful venue for bands, and the council do actually get quite a few bands throughout the summer. So if you're ever at a loose end, once we get out of the house, you can call down there to Portrush and see some of the bands on display there. That video was actually taken by a good friend of mine, Sharon Freeman, whose husband is one of the drummers in the band as well. So thank you for that, Sharon. Now, I just want to remind everyone tonight is only possible, our virtual band parade is only possible thanks to all videographers out there, without whom we would be all sitting twiddling our thumbs, for want of a better word. And I just want to give all a shout out to all of those guys who have been helping with their videos. Relentless 03, Loyal Ulster Scottish Bands, On the March, Loyal Star 98, The Fifer's Cave, Rufus Moonbeam, Loyal Band Parades NI, 80 Prod 256, also Royalist Media, Wayne F&D, many more. Pictures on Parade, Roy's holding up his t-shirt there. So do go on to their YouTube channels and give them a shout, give them a like, give them a subscribe, and follow their videos, because we really would be lost without them. I can remember years ago, in the days of VHS, I had to wait until someone had videoed the parade, and then, you know, like a week later, you maybe got a VHS copy of it, and you just couldn't wait to get seeing yourself on video. And now the videos are online before you're even home, which is fantastic. So the next band is one of my personal favourites. What I'm trying to do here tonight is, instead of playing all the big name bands that everybody recognises and playing the same bands week after week, I'm trying to sort of educate, for want of a better word, but let you see bands that you don't normally see week in, week out. And this is one of them, and I think they are fantastic. I just love their style. They remind me quite a lot of the White Rock from Belfast, but this band in particular is the County Flip Band. Just putting this one out to Edward Baza Carson, Robin Campbell, and Rab Sweeney, who all asked for it last week. And this is County at the Bells Hill Boyne celebrations in 2011. Hope you enjoy them. Aren't they fantastic? I just love their whole style, and I mean, that's what it is. That's the joyful element to it for all of us. There's no triumphalism or anything like that there. Those guys are just purely out there having a ball of a time. They're entertaining the crowd, and the crowds love it, and that's what we're all about in a nutshell. Moving on really quickly, here's an accordion band most people won't have seen before. They are called Mullabrack Accordion, and Johnny Fraser had asked for this one. And this is them from Kilclunny Volunteers Parade back in June 2019. brilliant there from Mullabrag, and I'm sure many of you haven't seen them, but there is some fantastic. County Antrim, North Antrim in particular, is known for their strength in accordion bands, but there's some fantastic ones throughout the country, and hopefully through this virtual band parade, we get you exposed to them from the comfort of your own home. Now, could someone go and check on John China, because he's been really quiet? He must have one of those wagon wheels rammed completely in his mouth at the one time. So just check he's not choking there. I saw someone earlier on this evening asking for William King. I believe it was William Fenton, and also Scott Clark asked last week for William King, and Scott was very specific in his request. He asked for the piece of music called Commando General. Well, Scott, your wish is our command, and here is William King playing Commando General at the morning parade before the relief of Derry in 2018. First class there from William King, absolutely first class. Did really, really well. Roy had a wee panic in the middle of that there because he thought the tune was finished and he hadn't let me know. I like to keep him on his toes up there in Ballymena. Now, Erwin Lapsley last week asked for a piece from Kavanagh Lake Pipe Band. He said they're one of only a very few pipe bands left who play the Brian Boru pipes. He said they're pretty unique to Northern Ireland. So we actually struggled, Erwin, sorry, for finding a video, but I remembered that you guessed it for me in the Ulster Hall concerts, the Festival of Marching Bands ran by the newsletter a few years ago. So I dug out one of those clips, and here we go. This is Cavan Lake. Believe it or not, this is from 2011. Can't remember it being so long ago, but I hope you enjoy this, Erwin. Wal Mullen said he could listen to the Brian Boru chanters all day, better than those other pipes. I'm going to let you into a secret. Don't tell Erwin, but I can't tell the difference. So, to me, they're just bagpipes. Okay, I mentioned this band earlier on, and three people, Kenny McAfee, who I know is on this tonight, Hiya Kenny, Robin Campbell, Raymond Whitehead, all asked for this band last week. So, of course, we had to deliver. This is the famous White Rock. I saw a photograph, or I saw a comment on a video the other day when I was looking for one where it said they looked as if they got orange carts on the side of their hats. But if you look, all of their hats are exactly the same. They're all down at the same angle. So it's obviously their style. And this is the White Rock playing, well, it starts off with this long way to Tipperary, and goodness knows where it goes after that. Brilliant, aren't they? Just a complete style of their own. You can see why I say they're sort of similar to the county, but there's just subtle differences there. I hope you enjoyed them. They are fantastic to listen to, and they just look to be having so much fun, don't they? Moving on, we're trying to cover all the styles tonight. What I've done is I've taken the hour and a half that we have here now, we've extended it, and I've divided it down into roughly about 10 blood and thunder, 5 melody, 3 or 4 part, 3 or 4 accordion, a couple of pipes, a couple of silver, so that I'm covering all the genres. I think I've named them all there, but I've gone through the whole lot, brass as well, brass and silver. So this one is one of the melody selections. So Aaron Butler last week had asked for some of Shankill Road Defenders, and he mentioned Ulster Hall SRD. I didn't find that one, but I will find it for another night. But we have got here a small clip of Shankill Road Defenders from Pride of Knockmore's Festival of Marching Bands back last year. So I hope this one doesn't stay at Aaron. Brilliant from SRD. I have to say I walked in front of them at a parade one time. It was what, with the Summer Association, they were the band behind, so it was easier to walk in time with them, and their timing and tempo on parade is pretty much impeccable. Really, really good. Eddie says any more, and he's going to be putting on his living room and marching up and down. Eddie, please feel free to go live with that. I'm sure we would all like to see it. Dougie says that, God willing, they are going to have the White Rock in Kilkeel on the 11th night. So do remember that if things are back to normal on the 11th night, Kilkeel have a great 11th night pageant up there. It's just growing bigger and bigger every year. Fantastic event, and if you can get down there, do so. But remember to always support your local bonfires as well. So this one here was asked by quite a few people last week. Ruth Watson, Ian William McFarlane and Paul Galt all asked for South Fermanagh Loyalists, so we thought we're better than their own parade last year. So this is them in their own parade. Enjoy. you enjoyed that one. And that's getting nearly as bad as my saying, I hope you enjoyed that wee one at the end of every video, and my saying at the start of them. Moving to an accordion band here from, again, down about right the country. We don't see them very often here on the North Coast. Probably don't see them too often in Belfast. So hopefully this will be a nice little change for you. Emma Jane Moffat asked for these guys, and this is Donachmore accordion. I think I've said that right. Emma Jane, I apologise if I haven't. They start off with Seek Ye First and then go into a few other lovely hymns. I'm sure quite a few of you haven't seen that. If you're just joining us, welcome here to our virtual band parade. It's our way of keeping ourselves occupied, really, until we get back out on the road again. And what a event that will be whenever we do. Last week we were talking about whether it would be the 12th or not. Some people were suggesting that to have it on Derry Day would be fantastic because obviously the breaking of the siege and all that kind of stuff really good. Others are suggesting that we maybe won't have any parades at all this year. Regardless of what happens, we are going to be back as strong as ever, and it will absolutely let all of us see exactly what we're missing week in, week out. So Craig Halwell has asked us to play this next band. I actually was considering looking around, Craig, to see if you were looking over my shoulder, because it is literally the next band on my list. It is, of course, Schenkel Protestant Boys. They have been asked for quite a few times this evening. I had them on the list. I'm trying to cover loads of different bands here, and this is them playing at the White Rock Parade. Now, this is from Richard of Relentless, and Richard said that he wanted this one to be played because it just really personifies the fun and the camaraderie and the connection that we all get at band parades. So take it away. Shankill Protestant boys, they're doing what they do best. And I think a few of those guys could maybe do with singing lessons. They were maybe a little bit off key there for a time or two. But it's just all about the fun. If you're just joining us, we are having a virtual band parade here until we get back out on the road. But the next clip is going to show you just some of the standards that our bands can produce when they are on the road. Normally what we're trying to do here is we get a clip that gives you the full tune from beginning to end. This one is slightly different. We just get the band coming in, finishing a tune, lovely into a nice halt, then into a drum solo, and then into a wonderful march called The Thunder. And this is from East Belfast Protestant Boys Parade in 2019 and is Pride of Ballaran, and this was asked for by Hector. Brilliant there from Pride of Ballaran. William Doherty says that they are probably the best melody band about. If you put that around Kilkeel, you could start a row. You really could start a row. John Forrest, stick around because coming up shortly is the band that you have asked for there as well. Now, anyone who watches this will know by now that I am a huge lover of silver bands. They're not something that we see on parade here. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one locally here on parade in the North Coast or even in County Antrim. But down around Fermanagh, etc., they have parades where it's almost all brass and silver bands. I mean, that is just amazing, just so fantastic. But I found this recording of one of my favourite marches. This is the New Colonial March, and it is being played by Rogan Silver Band. And if you ever go to Scarva on the 13th, you'll see Rogan as part of the parade there as well. And this is them in 2011. Love it. Absolutely love it. Neil says there that we should go down to one of the parades down there. Absolutely, Neil. I am the girl to go with you. I just love the sound of them. Absolutely do. And Roy, if you put me on that camera while I am conducting here now, I will kill you. I didn't know. Sam has told me that there used to be a silver band in Limavady, the Pickett Memorial, about 20 years ago. I didn't know that, Sam. That's good to know. And Will and Richard are telling me that I pronounced it wrong. I am so sorry. It's Ruchan. Is that right? Ruchan? Is it like a shot? Now, someone asked for this earlier on. Sorry, I can't remember your name now. If you've just joined us, we're having a virtual band parade here to try and keep us amused. Otherwise, we would be climbing the walls because we're so used to every Friday and Saturday and most Wednesdays from this time of the year out parading and enjoying ourselves with all our mates. So what we're trying to do here is we're playing lots of different styles of bands. So if you've just joined us, you'll just have heard a silver band. Before that, there we had a melody band. Before that, there we had a blood and thunder. And now we're going to go to another melody band. And this one was asked last week for by Patrick McVeigh. And I believe someone, I'd mentioned someone earlier on just had asked for it there as well. And this is Skioch. And hopefully I'm just pronouncing that one right, because there's a few ways to pronounce it. I've heard it Skioch. Yo, Skeg. There's quite a few. So you'll know who I mean when you see them. This is them at their own parade in 2019. Brilliant, brilliant, regardless of how you pronounce it. Kenzie, you've asked for Down to Your Guiding Star. They're not up next, but they are on the list for this evening. So if you've just joined us, we're having a virtual band parade this evening. And I know when we're stuck in the house, it's really, really hard to lose time. And what day is it? But do not adjust your sets. You haven't just lost 10 months, 12 months in the one go. We were specially asked to play this next clip because Jason Reid enjoyed it so much. So Jason, if you're there, give us a thumbs up. This is a combination of Castledurg Young Loyalists and Castledurg Young Loyalist Owl Boys. And it's coming from the burning of Lundy, the closing the gates celebration there in December, which for many bands was the last time they were out. And we hope that it's not that long till we get back out again. But this is them entertaining the crowds, and you can also see Lundy being burnt. Isn't it amazing how well that works with Santa hats? Like, let's face it, it works any time of the year. But do not adjust your sets. You haven't lost 8 months of the year. It is not Christmas time. We are still in, well, we're just about still in March. So I had to think there. But we haven't lost that much time. I know it's easy to do. So hope you're enjoying it this evening. Let us know. Give us a big thumbs up if you're sitting there. If you've got your cooler bag beside you, then you really are in a bad situation, because I don't have to walk that far to my fridge. Or if you're having your wee cup of tea or your soft drinks, hope you're enjoying it. Give us a wee thumbs up there if you're doing any of those. And we're going to go from Kettledurg there, playing... Right, you can't text me at the same time as I'm talking, because I cannot do both at once. I can't read and talk. It just is beyond me. We're going to go from one extreme to the other, and I like to always feature a little part of the part music flute bands. And Gordon Taylor had asked for these guys. They're from Scotland. They're called Dykehead Amateurs, and he had asked for a clip of those. So we found one, and hope you enjoy this, Gordon. They're playing Ingleside. brilliant there. Just a wee top tip, ladies, don't be telling everybody because I don't want everybody to get in on the act. But when you're going away to a parade, instead of carting about one of those really, really heavy cooler bags, invest in, remember those shopping bags your granny used to take down the street years and years ago? Well, you can get them now where they're refrigerated and inside they've like a cooling material, you know, the same as cooler bag, and they also have a fold down seat as well. So when you see me on Dairy Day trailing my wee granny bag behind me, know that it's filled with lots of fizzy lemonade and sandwiches, but I also come complete with my seat as well. Absolutely godsend, definitely. That's start a new trend, ladies, but they are fantastic. Moving on to another accordion band this time. This is the Queen Elizabeth Band from Scotland, although this is them on parade here in South Belfast for the South Belfast Young Conquerors Parade in 2016, and they're playing an arrangement of Aces High. Unfortunately, it cuts off just a little bit before the end of the tune, but we've got as much of it as we can. As much of it as we can. That's too many beers. Something a wee bit different for you there. That was the Queen Elizabeth Accordion Band from Scotland. So Eddie has commented that he knows all about my cooler bag and my trolley because he carried it last year. But I mean, we had to get Eddie something to do because he was meant to be in the band and he certainly wasn't playing any instruments. I mean, anytime we saw him that day, he was either carrying a drum head or walking up the side, and he's meant to be a bass drummer. Like, I mean, come on, we had to get you something to do. Neil has told us that there has been over 65 bands requested tonight, so we will absolutely do our best to get them for you. We just keep adding them to the bottom of the list, and we get them through them slowly but surely. Hopefully, we're not on here for too many more weeks because we'll be back out in the roads. But as long as we're stuck inside, we'll keep playing them. Now, I know that you're really going to enjoy the next clip. We always talk about the talent in the bands and how talented our musicians are, but we never ever consider the guys out front, the guys in the band pool. And this is Chris, and most of you will recognise him in the front of Gertrude Star, and I mean, he's just given an absolute masterclass here. So one of the challenges that's going about at the moment for, you know, everybody stuck in the coronas is chuck off COVID ID, and it is where all the band poolers are out in their garden taking their video and twirling it up and doing all their business with it. I would have it dropped after about 2 seconds. So I want you all to watch this really, really carefully. Get out in your garden. Remember social distancing, stay 2 meters apart from everyone, but get out in your garden, practice this, and then send me your videos and see if you can beat this. So this is Gertrude Starr at East Belfast Protestant Boys Parade in 2019. It's no wonder there's not a pick on him. It's about time that I started doing that, the way he's lashing that about. Though I wouldn't like to be standing too close to me, I have to say. So we're going to have a change to our scheduled programme. I had one more tune down, but I wanted to play you this next band because I've always said that I'm trying to show you different bands that you maybe haven't seen before. Now, the only time I'm aware of this next band playing in Belfast was at the Newsletter concert in the Ulster Hall, and I found this this evening when I was looking for something else, and I thought this is brilliant. So this is the Current Flute Band, and they are from outside Macrofelt, Desert Mountain direction. They play with the original brass snare drums. Now in this clip there is only 2 drummers, so can you imagine if they had a drum corps the size of Gertrude or East Belfast Protestant Boys and all playing these snare drums? What sort of noise level would that not have been? So this is the Current in the Ulster Hall. Amazing. Aren't they brilliant? And just two of those, the skeleton drums, I did call them skeleton drums, didn't I? Balrashane used to play skeleton drums. So can you imagine the sound that Balrashane would have had with skeleton drums? I mean, just beggars belief. There's about 8 of them up my dad's attic, but I don't think you have a mission of getting your hands on them, so don't even try. So I have got a public service announcement, which is what Roy was telling me earlier on, that I couldn't read and talk to you at the same time. And it's to remember that our clocks go forward tonight, tomorrow morning. So that means you can party for an hour longer tonight than you would otherwise have planned. So everyone, I want you to stay safe. Make sure you're adhering to all the social distancing rules, etc. And of course, stay on top of your mental health. It is most important that you talk to each other, whether that is via a video call, that you talk to someone if you're feeling that you're struggling. I mean, I'm not sleeping properly, and I don't know why, because it's not like I'm doing anything during the day. But you know, like it can throw you out, and all the worries and all the different things that's coming through in the news, it can really give you a little bit of anxiety. So do remember that Light of Foot Charity is there. They're created by bandsmen, for bandsmen, and they're there to chat to you and listen to you if you're feeling under any stress, and of course reach out to friends, etc. And let's let the NHS focus on beating this horrible virus. So with that in mind, our last track this evening is one of the first bands who supported us in Light of Foot, showing our banner on parade and asking them to come along, asking us to all go along to their band parade and hand out leaflets and little information cards to all the spectators and bands folks. And we're really, really grateful for that there. So you'll see a few of the guys out of the team there for the Light of Foot banner at the front of the band here. I'm hiding. Quite sensibly, but this is Downshire Guiding Star at their own parade last year in September, and I'll see you all next Friday night, 8 o'clock. Don't be late.